So the Trump administration clown show continues, and I want to give you an update on the trade war, what they're saying, and let's just jump right in. Have a listen.
Peter Navarro said that it's perfectly possible to do 90 deals in 90 days. We haven't seen one just yet. How soon might we see a deal, and what evidence can you share that progress is being made in these trade negotiations?
Sure.
90 deals in 90 days. That's what the promise is. And I mean, it doesn't sound very plausible to me that they're going to pull that off. Now, they're going to argue Trump speed, these kind of things. I'll just say this. A deal could take like a year, it could take 2 years. There's a lot of conversations that need to take place with this. And possible that could you get any deal at all? And let's see, do we have anything? Please let me know.
Well, I spoke to our entire trade team this morning. There is a lot of progress being made. We now have 18 proposals on paper that have been brought to the trade team. Again, these are proposals on paper that countries have proposed to the Trump administration and to our government. You have Secretary Bessent, Secretary Lutnick, Ambassador Greer, NEC Director Hassett, and Peter Navarro, the entire trade team, meeting with 34 countries this week alone.
All right, so according to her, we have 18 proposals being proposed. As a proposal is what a proposal is, because they proposed it to us. They got nothing, right? I mean, because we don't know. The proposal could be, hey, can we keep it the same? Or, hey, what the heck do you want? Now, the reports before were that the USA would send people that weren't really authorized to make any kind of deal. And we're just sort of soliciting countries to offer the USA something. Because remember, the goal of the Trump people is to get all of these money and such from companies from other countries, et cetera, to build factories in USA. What are these 18 proposals? Who knows? Then they're saying we're talking to 34 countries. So that is a far cry from the 90 deals in 90 days that they were promising before. So I just want to give you an update on their progress. Let's listen some more of what they're saying.
We are moving at Trump speed to ensure these deals are made on behalf of the American worker and the American people. And just yesterday, it seemed to get a little bit lost in the news, and I think it's a disservice to the American public that it did. The vice president announced terms of reference for a trade deal with India. That is a big deal.
Okay.
We know when we look at the numbers, the monetary trade barriers and the...
We'll see. The interesting thing about the India situation is Elon Musk is going to meet with India too, and the rumor mill is that Elon's going to be building a factory in India is the rumor. The thing that's so ridiculous about this is like Trump is promising you all these jobs, right? So do you really expect India is going to build factories in USA? Now, to be fair to them, what they could do theoretically is get India to drop any sort of trade barriers and we start selling more stuff to India. But I'd be willing to bet that there's a higher chance that China cuts a deal with India or something like that. Or things just remain the same. We'll see. But again, it doesn't appear that we have anything concrete. And that's also not a good sign if you're sending JD Vance over there. Like, what is he doing over in India? Who knows? Let's listen a little bit more what they have to say.
That you talk about, is that enough to extend the pauses on these reciprocal tariffs, or does the president need to see, these deals inked and signed to offer any sort of additional extension beyond the 90 days?
So he's asking, like, are we going to pause tariffs or not? The other issue as well is that it's been reported actually from Trump's people person directly said, Trump essentially wants to shake hands with every world leader after they make whatever deal. So that's going to slow things up also, because basically Trump treats this stuff like as photo ops. Even if the deal remains the same as what it is today, Trump wants to get a chance to shake hands with as many people as possible. So will we be pausing tariffs? Let's see what they say.
Well, look, ask me in July when the deadline hits. I know I'll be answering those questions from all of you in this room. There's a lot of time left, and the president's trade team is working again at Trump speed as quickly as they can to ensure that these deals can be made.
Ask me in July. That's a pretty weak answer. Okay, let's see what else we got.
Conversations yet with China happening?
I actually do have something to share on that. I asked the president about this before coming out here, and he wanted me to share with all of you that we're doing very well in respect to a potential trade deal with China. As I mentioned, there have now been 18 proposals in more than 100 countries around the world who are wanting to make a deal with the United States of America.
How did we get to 100? Where did that come from? Seriously, the numbers keep changing. Okay. Because I remember we were talking to 50, then 60, then 70, then 75, and then it was 90 and 90 days. Now suddenly we're talking to 100 countries again, but in the same conference he was saying we're talking to 34. So, and then we got 18 proposals supposedly. I honestly, they're just making crap up. But let's see what they say here. So, okay, 100 countries we're talking to now, supposedly.
And the president and the administration are setting the stage for a deal with China. So we feel everyone involved wants to see a trade deal happen, and the ball is moving in the right direction.
We're setting the stage, and the ball is moving in the right direction. That's regards to the trade war with China. Before they used to say that the ball was in China's court, so I guess now the phrase is the ball is moving in the right direction. I don't think we have anything. That's how I read that. I want to hear your guys' thoughts also. Let's hear some more on this.
Sure.
Setting the stage for a deal with China, what does that mean? Has the president spoken directly with Xi yet?
I don't have anything to read out on a direct talk between the president and President Xi.
Now, basically, Trump wants to talk to Xi directly, but Xi's not having it. China's like, you send a trade rep, we'll send a trade rep, and then after you hash out details, we'll do a public meeting, do the signing, get out as quick as possible. We don't want to mess with Trump. And from Trump's point of view, is like, why doesn't Xi return my calls? Like literally, it looks like it's not happening. There's no direct line. No one wants to talk to Trump. Let's see what more they have to say here.
But we will continue to keep you updated.
And Secretary Bessent reportedly today told investors that this trade standoff with China he expects will be de-escalating soon because, as he described it, reportedly the situation is unsustainable. Is the president considering taking steps to de-escalate the situation with China?
Again, I just read you words directly from the President of the United States. Those are moments ago. That's where his head is at right now.
So she doesn't want to comment, right? And the phrase they're using is the ball is moving in the right direction. Unfortunately, because I want to make this clear, guys, the main issue is just Trump and their people are incompetent. I would like the USA to come out, with good economic situations for the American people, for the world. And so I don't want you to ever think that we're rooting against USA. It's just that it's like the Trump people are just so awful, and that's sort of essentially what we have to show every day. Is just like, look at what they're saying. I mean, they look at the promises that they make, 90 deals, 90 days, and then how far we are from that. Or look how they dodge questions on, hey, is Trump talking to President Xi over in China? And they're just like, oh, well, I already read the statement that President had to say, and they just basically dodge. Let's watch a little bit more here.
Moving in the right direction, and the special envoy Steve Witkoff will be heading to Russia again later this week to continue talks with Vladimir Putin.
So I guess we're going to Russia. That's what we're up to. This is Trump asked about the situation with Federal Chair Jerome Powell. I guess he's changed his mind on that. This is Trump from day to day. He always changes his mind. Let's listen to this.
Good idea to me. Yeah, please.
You have no intention of firing Jerome Powell because here, economic advisor Kevin Hassett a few days ago said that you and people in the White House were studying this idea of possibly doing before his term ends.
No.
Do you have any plans on doing that?
None whatsoever. Never did. The press runs away with things. No, I have no intention of firing him. I would like to see him be a little more active in terms of his idea to lower interest rates. This is a perfect time to lower interest rates.
So Trump's claiming he never said anything about firing him. The reports coming out that they were exploring ways and talking about it, but maybe it hit the news cycle and they changed their mind. That's what happens a lot with these Trump people. Something hits a news cycle and they got to come out with, new direction to twist it or turn it or spin it in their favor if they can. But this is what's going on. Musk may or may not be leaving Doge sooner. That's been a big concern for Tesla investors. You got to tie this stuff in because Musk's goal has been to, try to slash the government budget. To be fair to Musk and the Trump people, there is deficit spending, right? How can you make the numbers match? You could do some spending cuts, but you should also do some, revenue raises, right? Basically raise taxes and just try to get the budget more in balance. It's not crazy when the national debt keeps going, skyrocketing as it is. But Musk has basically failed to make the cuts, that they want. Plus, he has all the political pushback. This is the quote here. It says, with Tesla suffering, and it's like a 71% decline in income, with Tesla suffering amid widespread backlash against Musk's controversial work with the Trump administration, Musk told investors that his, quote, time allocation to Doge will drop significantly starting next month, though he said he will probably maintain involvement with Doge. So we'll see what ends up with that. This is actually a big surprise to me. Trump's inner circle weighs push for higher taxes on millionaires. Wow. That'll be very controversial in the Republican Party because remember, their usual stance is tax cuts for the wealthy, trickle-down economics, and hopefully that everyone else will work out for you. But if they're starting to talk about this, right, raising taxes for wealthier individuals, that means even Republicans who are in that camp, some of them can do math, right? And they're like, man, the math of this Trump stuff doesn't work out, right? You got to come up with policy that makes more sense. So that's kind of an interesting one. I'll read a little bit of this, what they're saying. It says President Donald Trump's inner circle is weighing whether the White House should back raising taxes on Americans earning more than $1 million per year as part of the GOP's 2025 tax legislation. That's coming from 2 people, administration, and 3 others, brief the matter. So they have multiple sources that are saying that is on the talks. But basically, you just got to make the math work. We'll see if they end up running with that. That would be definitely against the GOP platform. But, when the math doesn't work, you got to try something. The weighing of multiple options reflect the difficult math, right? Even that's mentioned here. This is from the Washington Post. Facing the GOP as Republicans try to extend their 2017 tax law, which could add more than $4 trillion in new tax cuts as national debt surges. So that's what's going on with the Trump people. I feel like we got nothing with the trade. The math may not work out, so we may be raising taxes for wealthy individuals. And Trump's backing off on his calls to fire Jerome Powell. I want to hear your thoughts on any one of these things. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you all in the next video.